Hi there everybody, Mr. Magic here. Today I'm going to be playing some Aesi, Tyrant of the Gyre Strait. This is a landfall deck that I built quite a while back and haven't played it in several months, so this is going to be a refresher for me as much as for any of you. But the goal is to hopefully to play an infinite number of lands per turn with bounce land like Simic Growth Chamber or Guildless Commons. So, and then just to combo out, either making an infinite number of creature tokens or to draw out my whole deck and then win with Jace Wielder of Mysteries or something like that. So.
And I am Mrs. Magic. I am playing Jared Carthalion True Heir, and he will become the monarch and stay the monarch.
Then let's roll up. Two. Hard to beat. Hard to beat.
I can't even tell what that is.
That's a 20. That's the.
Is it a 21?
Well, it's that dice is from the core set for Magic 2021. So here's my. There's my life total, and there's yours.
Okay, and I go first. Okay, I'm gonna play a land for turn. I'm not yeah, the name is a little hard for me to pronounce, but there's and play goes to you.
What? Oh, Guildless Commons.
Guildless, okay.
Yep. Now I'm pretty sure Guildless Commons bounces itself.
Oh, it does?
Well, it bounces a land you control, if I'm thinking of the right thing. So what's it say there?
It says
enters the battlefield tapped. And when it enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. So if you don't have any other lands, Guildless Commons is going to bounce itself.
Oh. Well, I thought if you had another land out, it would do that.
Nope.
Okay. In that case, I'll play a mountain.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, if that's okay, I suppose.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Technically, I just bounced my hand back into...
I'm not going to force you to do that. I am going to... I'm going to draw for turn, and I'm going to play a Thawing Glacier, which comes into play tapped. And its various abilities will become relevant momentarily. Play passes to you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play that land, bounce that back to my hand to get that out of the way. Play goes to you.
Okay, untap, draw a card. I'm going to play an island for turn. And then I am going to pay 1 and tap my Thawing Glaciers. It says search your library for a basic land and put it onto the battle. Put it into play tapped. This does not count toward your 1 land per turn limit. Shuffle your library afterwards, and at the end of the turn, return Thawing Glaciers to its owner's hand. So I am going to go snag a forest. Okay. Battlefield tapped. I already played an island for turn, and Thawing Glaciers will return to my hand, and play passes to you.
I'm going to play a forest, and I'm going to tap 3 because Guildless Commons tap for 2 gray. Or 2 colorless, whichever. And I'm going to play Kodampa's Reach. It's a sorcery. And search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards and put them into the battlefield tapped. And the other into your hand. And shuffle your library.
Okay.
Okay, so those are revealed. That is my hand. I don't know.
One goes to the hand, one to the battlefield tapped, correct? Okay.
I'm going to put the green in my hand and the red into the battlefield. Battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. And play goes to you, honey.
Okay. I'm going to untap, draw a card. I'm going to play an island for turn. And I'm going to play a Scute Mob. At the beginning of my upkeep, if I control 5 or more lands, I put 4 +1/+1 counters on Scute Mob. Then I am going to...
He's a 1/1?
He is currently a 1/1. I'm going to tap 1 for Basilisk Collar. It's just on the field. It's not equipped to anything. And play passes to you.
Okay. I'm going to untap and draw a card first. And then I'll do...
Then you'll do some other stuff.
Okay, I'm going to tap. Oh, did I not play? Oh, I didn't play. I started to and then I forgot. Okay. Plane of Plains. I'm going to tap all 3 of those. I'm going to tap 3 to bring out Jared. And you automatically become the monarch. Because when Jared Carthalion True Heir enters the battlefield, target opponent becomes the monarch. And you can't become the monarch this turn. And then it goes on to say, if damage will be dealt to Jared Carthalion while you're the monarch, prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 counters on it.
Okay.
So that's cool. And then, let me see. Play goes to you.
Alright, I'm going to untap, upkeep, draw. I'm going to tap a total of 3 for Retreat to Coral Helm. And then I will play an island for turn. Coral Helm has a landfall trigger. Then Monarch just means that I get to draw a card at the end of my turn. I have a landfall trigger. I am going to... I'm going to scry 1 for my landfall trigger. Okay. I will leave that on top. Almost put it in my hand. Not the thing to do. So then end of turn, I will draw that card and play will pass to you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm going to play a command tower for turn and add 1 mana of any color in your commander color identity. And I'm going to tap 4. Guildless Common taps for 2 gray. And then I'm going to tap a green and command tower for another green to play Bear Umbra. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. It's an enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has, whenever this creature attacks, untapped all lands you control. So I have to attach it to a creature, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to... Is he your only creature? I can't...
That is my only creature.
I'm going to hit you for 3.
I don't like that. Give me a moment to think. I am going to block with that Scute Mob. You don't... That doesn't give trample, does it? Let's see.
No. Wait,
Okay.
it gets +2/+2.
But not trample. That's all I'm concerned about. I think it's just too early in the game for you to become the monarch. So
you can be the monarch and I can't.
With Jared Carthalion, you cannot become the monarch yet.
So no damage gets through.
No damage gets through because you do not have trample.
Well, I destroyed your card. Does that not count as damage?
That kills my creature, but the damage has to touch me in order for you to take the monarch.
Well, this says whenever this creature attacks, untap all lands you control. So that triggers.
So untap your lands.
How many lands do I have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm gonna tap 2 green, command tower, and a forest. To play In Search of Greatness. It's an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell from your hand with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the highest converted mana cost among other permanents you control without paying its mana cost. Right. If you don't, scry 1. So do you want to... That's quite a mouthful. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
Right. So your Bear Umbra costs 4. So next turn, next upkeep, you can drop a 5 for free, or you can scry 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yes, sorry.
All right.
I was reading this and thinking, no, it costs 2, and then I realized, oh, no,
highest
that one.
CMC. All right, my turn?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to untap. I'm going to draw for turn. I will play an island. I will... I will tap a total of 5 for Aesi, Soul of the Wild. Power and toughness are equal to the number of lands I control, and non-token creatures I control are forest lands in addition to their other types. That being done, play passes to you.
Oh, that card's bright. I'm not real familiar with this card or exactly how to use it, so.
So this is an enchantment. It's Valakut Explosion, and it has a landfall ability. Whenever the land enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of your library, and you can play that card for as long as it remains exiled. At the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with Valakut Exploration, put them into their owner's graveyards. Then Valakut Exploration deals that much damage to each opponent. So
the playing it exiled, I do understand, but the
So what happens is you play Valakut Exploration. Then you drop a land. You put the top card of your library under Valakut Exploration. It's exiled.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have until the end of your turn to play that card. At the end of your turn, Valakut Exploration, let's see, how does it...
Well, I guess my big thing is if I have to exile at the end of my turn, what if it's a really great card and I get to use it once and lose it? Aren't I losing more than I'm gaining?
That is a gamble that you have to make a decision about.
Okay. And I haven't paid for this card. I'm just...
Right. It is like, so if there's a card exiled there, it will do 1 damage to me. Now that's not combat
playing
damage to
mountain
take
for
the
turn.
monarch, but I forgot my monarch trigger last turn.
Oh. And I'm going to pay 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 lands.
That's horrifying.
For Dawnglade Regent, and it's a creature. When Dawnglade Regent enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. As long as you're the monarch, permanents you control have hexproof.
That is
I
also
forgot to untap him. So now I am the monarch. And now that I'm the monarch, if damage would be dealt to Jared Carthalion while you're the monarch, prevent that damage and put that many +1/+1 counters on him. So I can't get hurt at this point, right? Not with Jared, anyway.
Is
oh, and I have hexproof.
Jared has hexproof.
Does hexproof just mean you
cannot be the target of spells or abilities.
So can you damage him by blocking? Isn't that indestructible?
No. So here's, it's kind of like indestructible. So what would happen is, like Aesi is a 5/5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if they fight, then Jared he's a total of 5/5 because of Bear Umbra.
Mm-hmm.
So he would deal 5 damage to Aesi, killing her. Aesi would be ready to deal 5 damage to Jared Carthalion, except that we prevent that damage and he gets 5 +1/+1 counters.
So my question is, I'm not going to lose this card, right? Okay.
I mean, the card is well protected. I will say that. I can't say
what can destroy my card while it's got hexproof. That's what I'm not sure of.
There are some cards that like destroy all creatures. That doesn't invoke the targeting mechanic. That would do it.
But as far as I'm attacking you and you're blocking,
I cannot deal damage to Jared Carthalion.
No, sorry, I'm talking a lot. The damage that would have been caused if you block, do I get 5 counters because of that?
Only if I block.
Are you blocking?
I don't know.
I swung at you. I want to know if you're.
Oh,
blocking.
yeah, no, I'm not going to block. I will eat the 5
you're
damage.
Take 5. And because I attacked, I get to untap all my lands.
This is horrible.
You.
All right, I'm at 35. You're in main phase 2.
What?
I hand you this deck and you tell me, oh, that's not powerful enough.
I just said I've never won with it. I didn't say it's not powerful.
And that is just not a true statement. You have won numerous games with the Jared Carthalion deck.
I don't remember winning.
Well, you play it well, and
I've not really been able to use him before. Every time I try, you just put something on him, and it makes him that I can't use him.
I've demoted him a couple of times with the Brago deck.
Okay, I am not 100% how to use this card, but I'm going to go ahead and try. So I'm going to tap 4. I need a green. So it's an instant. And let's see, Commel's Will, I think it's pronounced. Choose one. If you control a commander, as you cast a spell, you may choose both. Until end of turn, any number of target lands you control become 1/1 elemental creatures with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. Those still lands. And number 2 is choose target creature you don't control. Each creature you control deals damage equal to its power to that creature.
So, and what size is this? Like it makes your lands 1/1s?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would pick these 2. Because they're untapped, or actually you could pick all your lands, and but these 2 have become creatures and they can attack. That's the general idea. So let's say you pick all your lands, just for instance. Well, then Jared Carthalion is a 5. That's an 8, total of 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 damage getting dealt to Aesi, Soul of the Wild. And she's only a 5/5, so she dies. Now, if you had played Kamal's Will during main phase 1, you could have attacked with these two. But that did not happen. So
it's okay.
Anyways, you know that for the future.
Goes to the graveyard.
Play passes to me.
I forgot about, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell from your hand with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the highest. What?
Yep.
What?
Upkeep triggers are rough.
And it's over there on my left. I'm gonna put it down here so it'll distract me. Not distract me. It'll jump out at me and play does go to you. Okay. Oh, and the Monarch. I get another card.
Yep. I untap. Draw a card. Oh boy, this is bad news bears. Wow. The pain and the dying. Let's see. I'm going to drop an island for
I think it's only until end of turn, so these need to be lands again.
Yes. Yeah, they are not creatures anymore. I'm going to play a Sky Shroud Ranger. It's a 1/1 elf that taps to let me put a land card from my hand into play.
You mean like an extra one?
Pretty much, yeah. And between that and Retreat to Coral Helm, I can land out. I can play all the lands out of my hand.
Okay.
Then I'm thinking. I'm gonna tap 2 to equip Basilisk Collar to Sky Shroud Ranger.
What does that do?
Gives it Death Touch and Lifelink.
That's terrible.
I have a 1/1 with Death Touch and Lifelink against your 5/5 Jared Carthalion that is going to get bigger if I do anything to him, and your Dawnglade Regent, which is an 8/8, giving all of your permanents hexproof.
Now, does hexproof prevent any damage from Death Touch?
No, Death Touch does not target.
Okay, so if I attack with him, you can block him and kill him.
Nope, because we prevent the damage, so the damage never takes place.
Okay, so...
But if I block Dawnglade
it would kill
Regent,
him because...
it would kill Dawnglade Regent.
Okay, I see. Is it my turn?
Yes, play passes to you.
Okay, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell from your hand with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the highest converted.
So you gotta go to 8. Dawnglade Regent is 7.
So, like, I could play an 8 card from my hand. Does it have to be exactly 8?
It has to be 8. Has to be 1 plus the highest CMC you've got.
CMC?
Converted mana cost.
Oh. I don't have anything as big as an 8.
Scry 1.
Oh. Cool. Okie dokie. Let me see. I'm going to play a forest for turn. I'm going to tap 4. I need a forest, a plains, a mountain, and I'm going to play the 2 colorless. I have 1 floating, and that's going to play, I can't read it from that angle.
Obum the Moldaya Ancestor.
At the beginning of your combat on your turn, up to 1 target land you control becomes an XX elemental creature with trample and haste until end of turn, where X is Obum's power. It's still a land. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature.
I think that sounds like a terrible idea. I'm going to counter target spell.
Did that kill him?
That does.
Well,
Because he's not on the board yet. He's not a permanent yet, so he doesn't have hexproof yet.
I still have one floating. Do I have enough land for this? 4, 5, 3, 4. Nope, I do not. Well, I will attack with this.
I will take the 5.
And because of that, I will untap everything. And now I'll play the card I didn't have enough mana for. Untap 1.
I'm at 30.
2, 3, 4, 5. Majestic Myriarch, I think.
That's horrible.
How I pronounced it? Or?
No. The card is horrible.
Majestic, is it Myriarch?
Yes.
Majestic Myriarch's power and toughness are equal to twice the number of creatures you control. At the beginning of each combat, Majestic Myriarch gains flying until end of turn if you control a creature with flying. Which I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't. Let's see. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance.
Yep.
No wonder you didn't like him.
Correct. Anything, like any named mechanic that a creature can have, if you control a creature that has that, Majestic Myriarch gets it.
Okay, so what do I have? Hexproof. So he now... This makes all my creatures hexproof anyway.
Right.
But, okay, then play goes to you, and I'm going to draw the Monarch card.
Okay. Gonna untap.
Now, I can't play any cards unless they're instants on your turn, correct?
That is correct.
Even if it's not a creature.
You can't play... You have to play... Instants are the only things that you can play on my turn. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Wow. This is really bad. Okay.
Oh, excuse me. Didn't this used to be a commander in one of the decks? This one?
Obum used to be the commander of the deck that you're playing right there. And
okay.
Changed that. So I'm gonna drop a Woodland Stream. Enters tapped. Excuse me. I'm gonna change the way I do this. I'm gonna tap Skyshroud Ranger to drop a Woodland Stream, which enters tapped. Retreat to Coral Helm is going to untap Skyshroud Ranger.
I'm going to assume that's kind of like my Bear Umbra.
Correct. And then Skyshroud Ranger is going to tap again to drop a Thawing Glacier, and Retreat to Coral Helm will untap Skyshroud Ranger.
And I forget, why does he untap every time you play a card?
Because Retreat to Coral Helm has a landfall trigger that I can tap or untap
it's
every
landfall.
creature.
Okay.
Right. Then I'm going to tap green plus a total of 5. Green plus 5 for Death's Presence. Whenever a creature I control dies, I'm going to put X +1/+1 counters on a target creature I control, where X is the power of the creature that died. So, then play will pass to you.
And then... Okay. And I forgot exactly...
So what's your highest CMC right now? It's Dawnglade Regent for 7.
I never converted mana cost.
Very
Okay,
good.
so what exactly is it?
So, Dawnglade Regent is green, green 5. So, total of 7. That allows you to play a 1+7, an 8, for free. Or, excuse me.
Oh,
or you can
highest.
scry 1.
He's my biggest card, so he's
right.
the highest.
He's your most expensive card.
4, 5. And I do not have any. Cool. Okie dokie. So I'm going to play Plains for turn. And boy, I just need to figure out who I want this on. Okay, I'm going to tap 3. I'm actually gonna just tap 1 and the 2 colorless. To play Sword of Vengeance. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has first strike, vigilance, trample, and haste. And then I need to pay 3 more to equip him.
So every turn, Majestic Myriarch will get first strike, vigilance, trample, and haste.
Okay, so I am going to hit you with him, and he's 3 + 4, 5 + 6, 7. So he's a total of 7.
So he's a 7. That'll take me to 23.
I'm going to untap everything. And I'm going to play 1, 2, I'm going to tap rather, 3, 4, 5. For Acidic Slime, Death Touch.
That's horrible.
So let's see. Okay, so I'm going to make the Chimera. Sorry, that's what he is. The Majestic Myriarch. Death Touch as well.
Okay.
And play goes to you. I'm going to draw my card for Monarch.
Okay. Got on tap.
Is it okay to set a card aside that I don't really want to play and it's just kind of getting in the way?
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to tap 3, 4, 5, 6 for Aesi Tyrant of the Gyre Strait. I play an additional land on each of my turns.
Have you just brought your commander out?
Yes. Then I am going to tap Woodland Stream and Thawing Glacier to fetch a forest. I could still turn this around if I can. Like if I could draw Guildless Commons or Simic Growth Chamber, those are my bounce lands, then I could draw up my deck off of Aesi, and that would let me play Jace Wielder of Mysteries, and I could win the game. But if something like that doesn't happen quickly, then I think this will go pretty badly for me, I have to say. So I'm going to stack my landfall triggers such that I scry one off of Retreat to Coral Helm, and then I draw for Aesi. That did not help me very much. At the end of my turn, Thawing Glacier will return to my hand, and play passes to you.
Okay. Tap everything. I still don't have a 7, so I'm gonna... Am I supposed to look at the card, the scry one, before I draw a card? I mean, does that
yes,
even make
it happens.
sense?
It's untap, upkeep, draw. So you scry one off of In Search of Greatness.
Okay,
you
so
get to decide whether or not, do I want to draw this card right now, or do I want to, do I want a blind shot at something else? And that makes In Search of Greatness very, very powerful. I think.
Mm-hmm. I will keep that. I mean, I would put it back, but I'm just going to put it back and pick it up again.
Right, you're going to draw that card.
I'm going to tap 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I have 2 greens? I need 2 greens. Yep, I do have 2 greens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. To play Rampaging Baloths. Trample, landfall. Bad. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may create a 4/4 green beast creature token.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of my combat, I have to name it, so it's going to be...
Yep. Majestic Myriarch will get Death Touch, Trample.
It can get...
First Strike, Vigilance, more Trample, and Haste.
So it's not options? I can
no,
get
it gets all of these. It says the same is true of...
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Oh, I didn't play land, did I? And then... I do not have enough mana left to pay for this, so I will hit you with this. And let me think. What do you have for blockers?
I have Aesi and Skyshroud Ranger, which has Death Touch and Lifelink.
Would you lose your Death Touch in order to take out my Death Touch?
I guess you have to decide that.
Yeah. I'm definitely not going to do Majestic Myriarch, because you would take that. I just can't see your card properly. Oh, it's okay. I'm just gonna hit you with my commander.
Okay, for 5. Then I'll go down to 18.
And I'm gonna tap everything because of that. And I will tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Emerius Shepherd. It's a creature with flying. Now he's got flying. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may return target non-land permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. If that land is a plains, you may return that non-land permanent card to the battlefield instead. And I probably won't do it either way. But I forgot to play a land until after I'd paid for things. Did I put the land down before or after I played him?
After.
So the
you made a
landfall
beast token.
I don't actually remember, so I don't have to play it.
But that beast does have summon sickness. Okay. Is that my turn?
Monarch. Yes, it is your turn.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Tap. I'm gonna draw a card.
Oh, that's a cool card. Excuse me.
Okay. I am gonna... Boy, where do I even start?
I really like Bear Umbra.
I really don't.
You like him very much when you've got him.
Let's see. I will Thawing Glaciers, enters tapped. I have landfall triggers to contemplate. But I will scry one off of Retreat to Coral Helm. And I will put that back under there. Then I will draw one off of Aesi.
Let's see. How does that work? Every time you play land, you get to draw a card?
Yes.
And then play an additional land and draw a card?
That is
I'm glad you're not the monarch.
So, then, let me see how many lands I've got. 4, 7, 8. Okay, so I have 8 mana available. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I will tap 2 and a total of 4 more. 2 green and a total of 4 for prime time. And when he enters the battlefield or attack, I may search my library for up to 2 land cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle my library. That's my pocket knife falling in the floor. And there's one of them.
Do they have landfall triggers?
Yes, I am going to end up with landfall triggers. Where is... There's Reliquary Tower. Those are the 2 that I want. But I think this is going to be game.
Seriously?
I think so, because Simic Growth Chamber, or excuse me, I grabbed Guildless Commons. Guildless Commons returns a land I control to its owner's hand.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens, this is now an infinite loop. Reliquary Tower will enter normally. I have no maximum hand size. Then Guildless Commons will enter, and so I still have the scry triggers and the draw triggers sitting on the stack. Guildless Commons will bounce itself, and then I can tap Skyshroud Ranger to put a land card from my hand onto the battlefield. Guildless Commons will bounce itself, and I'll use the Retreat to Coral Helm trigger to untap Skyshroud Ranger.
And how does that...
And then I tap...
Why do you get to untap it each time? What does that
Because it says when I landfall, I may tap or untap target creature. So I can keep tapping and untapping Skyshroud Ranger to keep putting Guildless Commons back onto the field.
And what does Guildless Commons do?
It enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters, I return a land I control to my hand.
Same thing I have.
Right, so it keeps coming back to my hand, and then I can keep playing another land, and I'll just keep playing Guildless Commons.
So in other words, you'll bore me to death until I concede defeat?
No, I'll draw all of the cards in my deck. This is now my hand.
Oh, wait, how do you get to draw all those?
Because I have draw triggers off of Aesi, Tyrant of the Gyre Strait.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you draw a card, so you're just going to keep going. But what happens when you run out of cards to draw?
Then I play Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, who is a planeswalker that says if I would draw... Just a second, sorry. If I would draw, and there are no cards in my deck, I win the game.
I should have hit you with everything while I had a chance.
So...
I didn't realize you had a loop in that game. It's a different game that you do that. It's Aesi? No, wait. What is it? You get to pop everything off the board and put it back down.
That's Brago. Brago takes everything.
I didn't realize this deck could do that, or I'd have just hit you with absolutely everything before. I do remember playing that now.
Yep.
I just forgot it was this deck. And I do not get any more turns. Then.
You would... Let's see. I mean, depending on how all this played out, it's possible you could get an extra turn. I've got... I still have 2 mana available. And so, like, I could play Lotus Cobra and float an infinite amount of mana off of Lotus Cobra. And then I could play out every card in my deck. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I draw until I get to Lotus Cobra, and then I keep. I'm just gonna set that over here, and then I keep bouncing Guildless Commons until I have 10,000 mana on Lotus Cobra, and then I just play every card in my deck, and I could do like Hedron Crab, and every time I bounce Guildless Commons, then you mill 3 cards, and that's a win con. Or does that make sense? I could do. Let's see, gain control target creature, but all your creatures have hexproof, so that doesn't work. I can do Scute Swarm, and I can make a bajillion Scute Swarms off of the landfalls.
Well, for the record still holds that I've never won with this deck.
It was really close, though. So, yeah, things looked bad for me.
I was too wrapped up in having fun playing.
Thinking
about defeating you.
Things looked bad for me. I will say, things looked bad for me. I hadn't done any damage. I was at 18 life. You had quite a stack there up against me, but it was the Degenerate Mayhem. That's Degenerate Mayhem for the win.
And if you play every single card you've got, then no matter how much I attack you, you can block everything.
Yeah, like I can like with Scute Swarms, I can make, like I said, I can make literally millions of Scute Swarms. I can make an infinite number of Scute Swarms, because they make Scute Swarms double themselves every time there's a landfall.
It's like Cranko.
Yeah, do you remember the game where I had 64,000 bug tokens?
Mm-hmm.
That's the Scute Swarms.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then there's always Bio-Waste Blob that makes makes millions of blobs.
Anything with flying?
There's Combine Chrysalis in here that makes so your flying creatures can only block a total of 2 of my infinite.
My question is, if I got one more turn, if I could, and I attacked with the 2 flyers, could you block them?
Yes, because there's a Combine Chrysalis in here, and Combine Chrysalis turns all of my token creatures into flyers.
What?
So, yeah, like I said, I just played the entire deck.
That was crazy. I wonder what would have happened if I had hit you with everything. It would have been an 8, and how big is he? Power and toughness, or twice?
Twice the number of creatures I control.
4, 5, 6, 7. So he'd have been a 14.
Yep. Woo! So you might have taken me out. It's very possible, but I did have you intimidated with the Death Touch.
7 plus 8 plus, 14?
Right.
Plus 2, 6, and 4.
Yeah, so I did have you intimidated enough with the Death Touch in order to manage.
Yeah, I should have just killed it anyway. And taken the damage.
But good game?
Yes.